Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of You Can Sit With Us. I'm Matt, sitting across from Becky.
Hello.
We have Rainie on the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, 5s.
Hi.
And we have a very special guest back again, one of our favorite people. It's Rachel.
Hi.
Welcome back, Rachel. We missed you.
Thank you. I've missed you too.
How are you doing? We want to do a check-in, see how life is.
It's 2025. How is life?
What is life, you know?
What is
I
life?
have to get philosophical about it.
Yeah. I mean, what is life? Life is not great. But are we really going to discuss that now? No. But I would be lying if I was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's a bad time.
Hopeful.
Out there.
Right? Hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to give it a positive spin, Rachel. I'm trying to give it a positive spin.
I'm not that positive. No, life is something.
Yeah.
What have you been working on lately, Rachel?
Well,
in your personal
what
life?
What is life
Okay.
but work?
Your
What's
work
coming up
life,
at work
What's up?
is a new season of phoning it in.
Yes,
Ring,
love. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Which is going to be super exciting. In my personal life, no, that's not good. We can't include anything.
Yeah,
It
how
is
are the
what it
kids?
is.
How's the hubs?
The Hubs is cool. The Hubs is working on a very cool new show.
Oh.
And a top secret little project for the coolest movie production company in the world. So
Whoa. Whoa.
I know I
That's
will
all you
not
can give us?
drop the deets.
Oh. You heard it here first.
You can redact the actual name out of this, but there's just all this footage in our house. I know. Unseen yet.
That's exciting.
It's exciting.
That's
Well,
cool.
we can't wait to hear you actually announce it later on.
Yes.
Then
So
you can tell
that's
us
fun.
everything.
And the kids are being kids this morning. They're home sick with a little cough,
Aw.
but they didn't want me to leave because they had been preparing Kit, the cat's birthday party, and the birthday party wasn't ready yet. And I accepted an invitation, but then I tried to leave. And
Honestly, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. You said you were going to
Overcommitting.
go.
I should have never RSVP'd yes.
No, that's why you always say
Overcommitting.
maybe. Always maybe.
Now we know why
perhaps.
Becky always says maybe. To all the events.
You know, that I accepted the invitation, and then I was like, oh, I have to leave now. And they were like, the birthday party's not set up. And I was like, well, why don't you set it up? And Poppy just goes, I'm too tired.
She's too tired.
Aw.
She's too young to work, Rachel.
Meltdown
She's
Mondays.
too young to work.
Yeah, Meltdown Mondays
Meltdown Mondays.
is the thing. So
Mhm.
that's what's up with me. What's up with you guys? What's new?
Yeah, what's new,
Matthew,
Becky?
what's new?
What's new, Becky?
What's new?
What's new, Becky?
What's new, Matt?
What's new, Becky?
How's it going?
Matt? Matt, you're up.
Tag, you're at popcorn.
Well, we're in process of shooting some very fun new content with David Dang on hair transformations. So you'll get to
Wow.
see that coming up in the next couple weeks. It'll be so exciting.
That's
It'll be
exciting.
videos and podcasts. Are you surprised? No?
Becky
can't even talk. She's so
I'm shocked into
She's
silence.
so shocked.
I'm very excited to see it. I'm excited to see are we telling them it's your journey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's mine.
I'm excited to see your
Announce
journey.
it here.
Announce
it right
here.
now.
Announce it now.
Yeah, it's now. It's here. It's now.
What
upon
is?
My new hair journey.
Matt's getting new hairs.
You'll have to watch to find out what happens.
Well, that's lovely.
So today's day one of filming.
Today's day one. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You're ready to go?
When do you shave your head?
Never.
Oh.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
His hair's long.
Oh.
Yeah. Cover it up. People won't even know.
Wow.
Technology these days, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, damn. I really wanted you to shave your head.
I want you to get
I said I would
swollen.
shave my head only if Becky did it with me. Out of solidarity.
I just
I think it would be
I'd rather you go
I
bald,
think
baby
it
girl.
would be a great I think it'd be a great show of friendship,
yeah.
partnership.
We would have a friend breakup if that had to happen. I would move on. Adios. I would not look good bald. I wouldn't even look good with a bob. It's gotta stay long, baby. Gotta stay long.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, I also have been transforming, and I'm sure you've noticed I'm wearing my cool toned lipstick today
What?
because our
Hedgen
color
would be so proud.
Hedgen influenced me, and I bought a cool toned lipstick.
Looks great.
Very similar to your hair journey.
Well, I did wear my colors like Hedgen told me.
Okay, I was on the wrong episode. What if I'm wearing the wrong colors?
I'm a autumn leaf.
You are.
And I'm a cool summer.
Cool
What am
summer
I?
breeze.
Probably a summer.
Okay.
Probably cool something.
Not warm?
Who knows? Drop in the comments,
But
ladies
she
and
has like
gentlemen.
reddish hair, so maybe it'd be a little warmer than you. I don't know.
Maybe.
But that I have red hair by choice, not by
Yeah.
birth.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If your hair,
But then that's
if your hair color changes, it changes your color
okay.
story.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And if you're tanner, it also changes stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So it
Okay.
changes over through the seasons, through the years.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can morph in different things.
So summer something. Okay.
Probably.
I mean,
Probably. Who
I love
knows?
it.
Summer sounds nice.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Summer sounds lovely.
Summer sounds
Although
nice.
you could be an autumn leaf like Matt, because you do look good in like the burnt colors.
That's the red. The red
Yeah.
like maroons and stuff.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking of that one dress that you have, that sleeveless one that you wore to the live show.
She's like, which
It's like the
live
one that's like a
Oh
scarf.
yeah.
That one makes you look really
Oh.
tan.
show? Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
I was really tan during the live show.
Faker!
I was really tan.
Faker!
We had gone to Italy.
I was like, she just came
Oh,
back
I guess that's true.
rolling off that Euro vacay.
I went. My kids stopped going to preschool, and I could afford a trip to Italy then.
The trade-offs.
Yeah.
The trade-offs.
Paying for double tuition to preschool, put them in public school. Now it's free. We all get to go on a trip.
Yeah, I actually had no
Win-win.
idea that you had to pay for preschool
Win-win.
until
to pay for
Rachel told me you had
preschool.
to pay for preschool. I was like,
Yeah.
all preschools?
Yes. There is a program called Head Start if you live like below or at the poverty line in different like major cities. But unless that is the case, you do not qualify for free preschool. All daycares and preschools are paid, which is one of the big problems with childcare in the United States. That is some fucked up information.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Well, and if you
It's so
saw
expensive.
recently of the time that we're in, Donald Trump was taking back funding. It's since been blocked, but one of those programs was Head Start. And Head Start's also a program that feeds kids,
Yes.
like 5-year-olds. It
So-
gives them free lunch, free breakfast.
Our public
Right.
school now is a Title I school, and one of the reasons they stay open so much is because they have to provide breakfast, snack, and lunch for all kids every day, which is really important because some kids don't get food otherwise.
Very true.
I mean, that one politician was like, they should just get jobs.
Yeah,
The kids?
she
The
was saying-
5-year-olds.
The politician was like,
What?
I worked through high school. They should get jobs. And the reporter was like, but the Head Start kids are under the age of 5.
She was like, surely you're not suggesting.
And he was like, we all had to work.
We all
He
had to
just,
work.
like powered through it. She was like, you aren't suggesting these kids are like 2 and 3 and 4.
Ignorance.
I know.
So bad.
In the privilege.
That's bad.
You know what
It's
I
really
think?
bad.
He saw Snowpiercer and he was like, send kids to work.
I mean,
I know a
Listen.
job they could have.
one of the
In the
only
little
jobs the
engine
kids
room.
can
June
have.
and Poppy are throwing birthday parties left and right. If they can do it,
Party
you
planning.
can
They
do
could
it.
be party planning.
Party
Party planning.
planning.
I do think kids are good managers.
They tell
In
bossy,
their-
you mean?
They're
They're
very
bossy.
like direct.
Yes.
Like sometimes Henny just
Yes.
looks at Keith and points.
And
And
then,
I'm like,
okay, go.
Keith, he
Do what he
Go
says.
get
do it. Do what he says.
Do what he
Do what he
says.
says. He's scary.
what he
He's
says.
scary. He's scary.
Mm-hmm.
The mean manager.
Yeah.
But so cute.
He is so cute.
That's how they get away
Real
with stuff.
emotional whiplash, you know?
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
What is it?
One to the other.
Honestly, June and Poppy could be my managers. I'd listen to them.
June likes to go, pretend you asked me what my favorite color was. And then you have to be like, what's your favorite color? And she's like,
Pretend like you did.
oh,
ask me.
thanks, pink. And you're like, great. Thank you.
The
Pretend you didn't know the directions to school and I'm going to tell you. And I'm like, oh, let's turn left here. And she's like, no, that's not how you get there.
I love that.
the new thing that we've
So
adopted
good.
from June specifically
Mhm.
is she likes to behave like the Roman emperor. So if you ask her if she likes something, thumbs up. If she
Or
doesn't want it, thumbs down.
down.
So every once in a while, Keith and I will
Yes.
just do thumbs
Yeah.
down.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Becky's like, do you like that quesadilla I made you? And she's like,
Thumbs up.
You never know, though. I get a lot of
No,
thumbs
I was
down.
scared. I was
Yeah,
scared
you should
personally.
be.
watch
I saw
out.
Gladiator
Oh, wait,
2.
go ahead.
There were sharks in the
I was going to say,
Coliseum.
did you see Gladiator 2? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently the water is real, but the sharks were fake. I mean, not in the movie, it was all fake, but
I was like,
in the history of the Coliseum,
They didn't have
though
sharks.
they didn't have the sharks.
They didn't have real sharks.
but they did
But they
fill
had
it
real
with water.
They had real water.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was watertight.
Or the leaks were so small that it didn't.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you my source was Eugene. I texted him about the sharks and he's like, well, actually the water was real. And I asked no follow-up questions.
He always gets mad at me for being on my phone if we're watching something, but then he's always on his phone during it, looking up
Fact
stuff like
checking.
that. He's like, did they put sharks into the
I just don't get how they could have gotten the sharks. The water, I'm like, okay, you got people, you scoop. They had
They have
catapults,
nets.
so they had to have some sort
all
of.
the way from the ocean?
They had nets.
It's far.
How far?
Rome's not that far from the ocean.
Not if you don't have cars and trains and stuff. It's very far.
They got horses.
They had horses.
Horses and carriages.
Horses.
Chariots.
How much water can a horse pull?
Chariots.
How big is the Coliseum? I'm just saying.
I don't know. I've never
I mean,
seen
the
it.
Colosseum's pretty
Didn't
big.
you go to Italy?
You were
Yeah.
just there.
I
Weren't you at the
I know.
Colosseum?
It's very big. It's very big. I did not tour the Coliseum
like,
in
elephants and
July
stuff
with
in
my
there too,
children.
don't they?
though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, crazy.
You know what was smaller than I thought it would be? This is just another tangent.
The Eiffel Tower.
No, I've never seen that either. Thanks for pointing it out.
Tower of Pisa.
No.
the Burj Khalifa.
I've seen none of them. The place where the Olympics were first held. In Greece.
Oh, the Acropolis.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
Or is that's not where
Not
they
the
were held.
Acropolis.
The other
Did
Colosseum.
you even listen with your man ears on the tour?
Apparently
did you
you didn't
close
either because
them?
you also can't remember.
Because we didn't do a tour. We just walked by it on the last day. We looked at it. We said, wow.
I don't remember what it was called.
Is it Mount Olympus where the Olympics are?
No, I think that's where the gods live.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Let's see.
Zeus.
Let's
Oh,
see.
Zeus.
Site
Oh,
of
Zeus.
the first Olympics.
In
I saw the
Athens.
Coliseum when I was like 20 in college,
Mhm.
but I did not go in July because it's too touristy, too hot, too whatever.
And I feel like the girls aren't going to like it.
The
It's not
girls
fun
are not
for,
going to like it.
for
How
little kids.
am I going to be like,
you know?
well, this is where men fought to the death for each other and animals. I can't. I'm not, and it's hot. It's
Did
sweaty.
you do any ruins stuff with them? Did they like?
We did a couple
things?
museums,
Yeah.
but mostly indoor ones. It was
That's
July.
cool. Yeah, it's so
too
hot in July. Yeah.
We were just in Rome to like jet lag till we could go like to the coast
Mm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
where it was much nicer.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go to the site of the first Olympics. We went to the first modern Olympic site
Oh,
in Athens.
it looks like
Same,
the
same.
60s.
It's the first modern
time.
one in 1896. That's where we went. And we
Okay.
looked at it and we said, wow,
Because I remember the
pillars.
rings.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the rings were there.
Yeah.
And it was just like a little stadium.
Mm-hmm. Back then, people were smaller.
Okay. Matt.
Oh my god! Sorry.
Back then, people were small. I wonder who the tallest person is.
Today or all time?
All time.
Probably like 10 feet.
How tall? Let's go.
Let's look it up.
Let's look it up. Rainey, you
Tallest
get the
person of
number
all time.
and we're all going to guess.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
10 feet.
Of all feet. You're going to say
10?
10 feet?
It's someone with like Marfan's syndrome or something. You know?
They can grow to 10 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's like a genetic thing where they
I'm
never
going to
stop
go
growing.
11
What-
feet.
Where does the height come from? Torso, legs, both?
I think all bones.
I think everything.
Everything. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's good. That's more proportional.
Yeah.
It's just a regular person with 7 feet of legs.
Well, listen, one of our editors is like 6'3", and I'm like 5'3", big height difference. And we sat down next to each other at Zach's wedding, and I realized I was looking him in his eyes. His torso is the same size as mine.
Yeah.
Just his legs are really long.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
such a surprise. I was like, why can I see into your eyeballs right now? What is wrong with this? He was like, oh,
They
yes,
look
I have a
you-
very small torso. And I was like, you do?
You pointed out his biggest insecurity.
No, I think
Is
he's
it
chill with
Devlin?
it. Yes, it's Devlin.
Poor
Devlin.
Devlin. He has a complex now.
No, I think
Got a
he's
tiny
fine.
torso. Okay, how big do you think the tallest person? I went with 11 feet,
Oh,
just to beat
just
Matt.
one over mine, huh? 10.1 feet tall.
10.1.
Okay. I'll take the small answer, 9.
Yeah, it's 8'11". Pretty small.
Compared to
8'11".
pretty small 12
Compared to
feet
a
or
12
12 feet.
Yeah, compared to 12 feet. But I don't know. I once in the kindergarten class I taught, one of the dads was 7'1", former basketball player,
Very tall.
and I can't imagine a human being taller than that. That was
7'1".
7'1".
I feel like
I mean,
you
your
got
quality of life
7'1",
would,
and you guys.
you're always hunching in to get everywhere.
smooshed.
It'd be tough.
During parent teacher conferences, he sat in the tiny chair,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Please sit in the one big chair in the room, please." And then he did, but he sat down in the tiny chair, and I was like, "This can't be."
That
Too
was
comical.
Keith in Vietnam.
Yeah,
There were
That's true.
always these like small stools that you sat in, and we'd walk in, and Keith'd be like, "Oh man."
They're small. You might have to sit on the ground.
They're little.
Honestly,
yeah. It's
you're
basically like
sitting
sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
I thought they were kind of comfy though. They kind of smoosh you in.
yeah, that's nice.
You know, you feel cozy.
yeah,
Mhm.
unless you're Keith.
Unless you're Keith, then you're too big.
Right.
Yeah.
You're much too big a dog for that, Marmaduke. Do you remember Marmaduke?
No idea.
No.
Bye, guys. I'm out.
See
I'm
ya.
out. Marmaduke, he's just a big dog.
What
Like-
cartoon book?
Yeah.
Where are we talking?
Yeah, story.
Like the big red
There was a story.
big red dog.
There's a story going around about a big dog.
Clifford?
Let me show you
Clifford?
a picture and you'll see it.
Clifford, I
Clifford,
know.
the big red dog?
Red dog.
That's a big dog.
Marmaduke.
Marmaduke.
I have showed you a picture of Gene this morning.
See, look, Marmaduke. You're much too big a dog for that, Marmaduke.
Is it a
No,
comic?
I don't know
It's a
what
trailer.
this is.
Look at him.
Okay, seems like a bad dog.
No.
Beethoven, the dog?
Beethoven. You know
Yeah.
who Keith and I saw the other day?
Beethoven?
Celebrity sighting. A Dalmatian.
A Dalmatian?
A Dalmatian, yeah. Out in the world.
Is this a celebrity
Okay.
sighting?
That does feel that feels like a celebrity,
Right?
guys.
Thank you,
That's
Rainie.
big.
Thank you.
I've never seen one in
Wait
real
a minute,
life.
Marley.
Oh, my neighbors had a Dalmatian, and in 5th grade, I lived with my aunt and uncle, and they had a Dalmatian. I loved her, Missy.
Mm.
And even after I was done living with her, for the rest of her life, she waited for me after school every day.
Oh, that's so sad.
Heartbreaking.
And you never came, just like you never came to the girls' kitty cat party. You've been
Never.
disappointing
Non-shower.
animals your whole life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, I lived in Colorado in 5th grade, and I went back to Tennessee, and Missy waited every day.
Oh, what
They're
a culture.
very- They're
Culture
very
shock.
good dogs, but they're very high maintenance.
Mm.
I feel like all dogs are high maintenance. People are like, oh, this is a low maintenance dog. And it's like you Google it and they're like, they need to run outside for 37 hours in a day.
37.
Not Clementine.
Except for Clementine. Clementine
Clementine.
loves her.
Clementine catches a Frisbee once, and it's like, whew, good game, guys. Good game.
Done.
I gotta lay down. No, they need a lot of exercise. They're like adventurous dogs.
Yeah.
Where'd you see one? Because in LA too, they're big dogs.
They're big.
Yeah.
They're big. No, we went
At the fire station?
Why would you take dogs into a fire though?
I think they live at the fire station to
To ease
guard it.
everyone's. Okay,
Firefighters.
that
Yeah.
I'm very down with.
Mhm.
Or maybe they're like the canaries and they bark when there's a fire in the
When they
distance. Like,
smell the smoke.
Anyway, we saw
That was a
that.
good bark.
Thank you. Do you know I can do like a pretty good dog bark, and Keith and I can do pretty good cat meows.
Let's hear a cat.
Okay.
This is how you and Keith communicate now at home. You're just meowing to each other.
Yeah.
When you and Keith do this, are you sober?
Yeah. It's just the noise and something. They like chirp at you. But dogs like,
The more you know.
That was good. That was really
That
nice.
was a yappy little pup.
yeah, I
I know,
can
it's
do
like
yappy
you
dogs. I
sound
can't
like a
do like a
Yorkie.
big dog. Yeah.
Yeah, do a big dog, like
Big
rough.
dog?
Yeah,
Funny.
be a big dog. Be a big dog,
Becky's
Becky.
acting
Be
school.
a big dog. Okay. Yeah. Bring it back to center.
Mm-mm.
That sounded fake. That one wasn't good.
It's pretty good though.
I feel like I'd have to go like a long, like I'd have to find my
A
voice.
howl? Oh.
Mm.
Was I?
It sounds like a hurt dog.
This is-
Like you sound
That
like you
was
hurt a
sad.
dog.
That dog's hungry.
I can only do sad animals. I only do sad animals or yappy dogs.
Mhm.
Pretty good,
If
right?
I
is
heard
pretty
that, I'd be
good.
like,
Where's the puppy?
Everybody listening to this podcast is like, Becky, stop barking into the microphone.
Becky the barker.
They're like
Listen.
walking their dog and they're like, Jesus Christ.
The cold open is Becky be a big dog.
You know what, Rachel? We got from our last podcast a lot of people who were into Becky Gotcha. We got a lot of ideas on how to
Greenlit,
improve.
baby. Greenlit.
Greenlit.
But
You heard it here.
the thing is, we need to like think about where Keith will be that he doesn't expect you.
Everywhere.
The car. Like the car's a good one.
The cars.
It can't be the office or your house. Those are suspecting. We gotta like take him over to Eugene's. You gotta be at the closet.
That's easy.
Just be in the bathroom.
I think you should be somehow you're in Henry's car seat. So he looks back and you're like there. Or
Have
just
you
like your
ever
head is
seen
in
a
it or
car
something. You know what I mean?
I would have to be very, very tiny to fit in that car
So he would look
seat.
back. Gotcha.
Oh my God.
That'd be so good.
Heart attack.
That's funny.
Speaking of amazing ideas,
Yes.
we have a bunch of questions from Patreon for you.
Oh, wow.
People want to know things.
People want to know
Wow.
things.
They've been waiting for you to be back
They're
on.
so
We've been asking
generous.
the patrons.
They are.
Wanting to know things. Okay, patrons.
They
So-
got questions.
Okay.
And you
let's
got
answer 'em.
answers, Ma.
The
I
first
hope
group of
I do.
questions-
Do I get a veto or a pass?
Yeah, we'll give you the thumbs up, thumbs down, and then
This
you and
is an
Matt have
audio
to fight.
format, but I'll-
Then it's thumb war.
Yeah.
These questions are about Escape the Kitchen. These first couple.
Oh, okay, great.
Mhm.
Escape the Kitchen's coming up.
ETK.
ETK.
Love it.
ETK.
You
So-
guys, Escape the Kitchen's a reason to subscribe. It's a fun
It's
time.
this season's good.
It's really funny.
This season, so last season was the pilot season. It was our
Mhm.
first time doing it.
Mhm.
And we learned a lot. And this season, we upped the stakes even more. It's not exactly the same. And for every episode, we also give you a bonus episode. So there's a full
Mm.
episode, and then there's like a hangout companion show as well.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's fun.
It's fun.
I like that. Behind the scenes. Untucked.
Behind the scenes.
I love a good untucked episode. It's my favorite.
Untucked.
That's where all the drama happens.
It's the after show of Drag Race.
Oh,
you need to watch more
okay.
Drag Race, Rachel.
Because if you're not watching Untucked, you're only getting half the
Yeah.
story.
You're only getting
Yeah.
a quarter of the story.
I do
honestly.
need to watch more Drag Race, but you need to invite me over.
We'll do it. We can have a big party.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm
let's do
down.
it. Let's do it. Okay, so the first question. How long does it take to shoot each episode of Escape the Kitchen? Because it feels like it's long. Like it would take forever because there's so much happening.
It is a long process, but due to production concerns, each episode can only take a single day.
Oh, so it's all
So
day.
every day we have to be able to shoot a full episode, the companion show, and turn over the escape room for the next episode, which involves new gags, tricks,
Right.
surprises, booby traps, you know. I know. It's a tall order.
It is. It's a lot to do in one day.
It's a lot to
24-hour
do
day.
in one day. And I feel like I'm still getting the hang of predicting how long people will take because I am quite skilled at this point at knowing how long they'll take in cooking challenges or how long to really give them.
Mhm.
But people will get caught up on a puzzle in a way that I haven't predicted. And really, you think it'll take them between like 30 seconds and 3 minutes. And they're going on 28 minutes. And you're
Yeah,
like,
that'd be me.
well, we just gotta keep going.
answer is
wrap it up,
3.
Jake.
The answer is 3.
You know?
Next.
Yeah. So, but yeah, one day, one episode.
What does the other contestant do while the other is in the kitchen?
They're not here.
They're missing. They're not even in the
Yeah.
office.
So,
They're hiding.
one person comes in and does the escape room, and then either can go hang out in our office and work or read or whatever they want to do. And then the other person does the escape room, and then we bring them back in. The only thing we make sure of is that they don't interact at all.
So they don't
Yeah.
get any clues.
And just so that,
No
because
spoilers.
immediately after you have this kind of singular fun experience, you want to be like, and did you know that the cucumber turned into a key? And you want to capture all that on camera, so we don't let them interact. But the first person can hang out. I think someone went home and walked their dog and then came back, you know, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And then related to the first question was, have you ever had to change a clue in real time?
Yes.
because it was taking too long?
I've changed
And how
clues.
often have you had to do that?
So in real time while the show is going, I will change clues, give additional hints, or create totally new gags or clues as needed. So an example of that was like, I believe on the Keith and Marissa episode of season 1, they were just cooking for a long time at the end. And I realized it was like kind of taking them a long time to get through all these steps. And there were no more clues left. And I was just like, I don't think we want to montage through all of this. So let me give them something to do. And we have this printer live going to the room. So I wrote a clue about, I had someone pull me a song and I wrote a clue about finding a place to hide. And then I played scary music and they had to hide. And I sent someone from the art department in with the next clue printed in an envelope instead. That was just all something we created on the fly to give us a way to not just montage through all the cooking at the end, to give them some like dramatic reprieve from that. So
Scary reprieve.
Scary.
It was fun.
Scary reprieve.
Marissa ended up like going all the way under the kitchen island.
Oh, she can definitely fit there.
And Keith couldn't hide anywhere because he's
I was gonna say there's
so he
nowhere.
just stood against the wall. But it was good. It was good.
Blended into the
It was great.
surroundings.
Is there a reason that you had someone from the art department go in? Or were they just around? Like they were just...
So the art department for the show is dressed in like hazmat suits and white masks. So they look kind of like neutral or of the room. And they occasionally, will have something like the whisk breaks or the printer needs resetting or something. And I sort of... And the first AC is also dressed like that so they could reset the top-down camera. But it just gives me like a neutral person you can kind of see on screen that I could send in. And I had them quickly create this envelope with the last clue rather than printing it so that there was a reason for like the whole little music thing.
Yeah.
But yes, and every once in a blue moon, I have to just be like, try this code.
Yeah.
Or like, for example, this year on an episode, Miles was figuring out a clue. He had a really hard time. He finally figured out that it was his birthday, but the people who set the lock had accidentally put it in reverse. And so he was like, it's my birthday? And I was like, yes, green light. It's my birthday, green light. And I finally had to be like, try it the other way. And then we realized what had happened. But you can just cut around that in the edit. That was a whoopsie.
You can blame it on the edit.
Blame it on the edit.
Blame it on the edit. I didn't know it was the edit.
Fix it in the edit.
Blame it on the edit.
Fix it in the edit. You'll never see that. It's just like he's like, it's my birthday, and then it opens, but they had accidentally inversed it.
Who keeps track of the points? And how do you decide what gets points, like washing hands and swearing? And is there actually someone they're counting every single time, like someone swears?
Yes. So we have a script supervisor on set, and they are counting a bunch of stuff. We've asked them in advance to count, and also paying attention to stuff that comes up during naturally and starting to track that as well. So if someone, like hand washing was not something we were going to count until Marissa did it the first 7 times. And I was like, we should start counting that because like it's going to keep going. But someone is counting the amount of curse words said. Someone's counting how many times they drop something or spill something or how many tries it takes to pop something or anything like that we know to look for. And then bits or things that they do over and over again, we start tracking it in real time. So we kind of track everything, and then at the end, we decide what's interesting for the after show. That part is no longer in judging. Now it's in the after show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta watch the after show.
Gotta.
Exclusively
Get the
on
whole
Second
story,
Try.
the whole picture. And then how has it been producing Escape the Kitchen versus Without a Recipe? What are the differences that we as the audience might not notice?
Escape the Kitchen's much harder because it has to be written. Escape the Kitchen's written.
Yeah.
And every night, instead of just cleaning and setting up like a clean kitchen set with specific ingredients and equipment, it's that plus puzzles and gags that we have to practically create and have to work. And, we are doing it on a budget. So when you make escape rooms, you make them so that they can be done 6,000 times, right? But our things only get done twice. So you can't, 1, spend a ton of money on them, and 2, they have to work, but not you're not investing in them. So you don't want to do anything too permanent, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say the first season was very much like escape room puzzles. And the second season is a little more like silly torture.
Oh. Silly torture.
Silly torture. Lighthearted torture.
Yeah. Are there any other big changes like that from season 1 to season 2?
Yes. So this year, when they escape the kitchen, instead of meeting up with each other to try each other's dishes, something else happens to them.
They get pushed together and they have to try them
No.
both out.
Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're separate, but there's always another person or, in fact, several people every episode, and they enter a different genre each episode and then have to live out that show before they can escape.
Whoa.
So
You think you're done and you're never done.
you're never done.
Yeah. It's like reliving. Purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Agree.
So each one's very different from all the others.
How do you come up with those? Like how do you decide something works and something doesn't between a season 1 and a season 2? Like, was there anything in season 1 that you were like, no way, we're not doing that again?
Well, I just think when we looked at season 1 and when they left the room and met up with each other and sort of were given this thing with the printer and no one else was tasting their dishes, it felt clear that that was really fun, but we had a hard time structuring it in the edit to flow really well. And it felt like you really wanted a third party to taste that dish and give you an answer, which we kind of did in the initial pilot episode. We had an anonymous person come in and taste it. Then it evolved to each other tasting it. And then in this one, now it's like a chef tastes it. But the genre thing came about really organically. Even season 1, each episode based on the recipe kind of had a theme around it. So, when they were making lollipops, it was like lightly psychedelic. There was blue light gags and stuff like that. And when they were making dumplings, it had like sort of a Chinese theme throughout it. And they were making tea and putting together these puzzles and the art changed and everything. So like it's, they've always been like a little bit genre, but this just sort of upped the ante. And it allows all the gags, it like can focus all the puzzles and gags and games into one kind of idea, which is nice.
Well, Rachel, we're going to pivot away from Escape the Kitchen.
Okay.
We're going to go to just your Patreon questions that have to do with just your job.
Okay.
Just your general job. Just general
Is there
work.
anything left to know about my job? I feel like we know.
I feel like we do know a lot,
Okay.
but there's always something.
Let's know
Rachel.
again.
There's
You never
something.
tell us all anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, you always leave us wanting more.
Oh, thanks.
The patrons asked, what's the goofiest thing you've seen around the office in the past year?
As you're smirking and not saying anything.
Well, on Friday, Desiree was high.
Okay. All right.
That immediately came to mind. She was making a short for YouTube Shorts in which she got progressively more high until Keith noticed. And girlfriend was just high.
Nice.
Shorts coming at
Nice.
you. I'm sure it's out by now.
Heath noted.
Keithton knows for a long time.
I was about to say, also, you don't want to comment on how people are behaving.
Zach noticed immediately. But we were in a meeting and I just see Desiree like open up if she doesn't want this, we'll cut it out. But open up like a little box of weed and do like this to waft it towards Keith because he wasn't getting it. So she was like, and I was like, how am I supposed to keep a straight face right now?
That's so
Too
funny.
much. Too much.
Okay, so if we have to cut that, what's the second goofiest thing?
Second goofiest thing I've seen in the office. I don't know. It's goofy around here all the time.
I was going to say, I feel like everyone's goofy.
I have a little video where I just walked into set and then Zach jumped into Keith's arms and then they both screamed. So, it's just goofy 99.9% of the time.
Well, speaking of Zach, the patrons want to know, who's the hardest one to be mom to? And why is it Zach?
Okay. Well, Zach is everyone's child, not just mine. But I don't mother the guys. If I did, I don't think I would like it.
Yeah, that's
true. I don't. I think that's a fine public persona. I feel like I had mom energy before I became a mom. Like the fact that I was a kindergarten teacher, people were always like, oh, I love that because everybody just wants to be babied.
Yeah.
All of us.
What's the opposite of infantilizing someone? Like momizing them?
Momizing.
Adultizing.
Adultizing. Matronizing. They matronized you.
But I think if I actually had to mother the guys, I would be deeply unhappy here. That would be
deeply unwell too.
Yeah.
Could you imagine one of them like getting upset about something and you're like, I can see you're frustrated.
I can see that you're really mad right now. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Would you like some water?
I don't think you slept well last night. Do you want to lay down with your Kit?
Is your belly hungry?
Oh, I think maybe you just need to go poop. Why don't you try it?
Should we try to poo-poo?
Oh, I'm sorry. We do have to wash hair.
It sounds like you guys are ready. You're ready for it.
I'm just thinking of all the things you say to kids now that I'm like, that would be so funny.
Nope. I can't actually drive until you buckle up. Sorry. I don't want to be late either. I don't know if there's traffic. Get buckled.
Get
You're just in the
buckled
office.
now.
Shh. Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn the sound machine on and the nightlight. Jesus Christ.
Do you need a stuffy? What is stuffy?
Which
make
one
you
do you
feel
want?
better? Okay, let's pick. I'll pick you
Let's
up. Take it to 9-9.
I will say, when June and Poppy come to the office, they go straight for Zach's desk because that's where all the
All the
toys
toys are. I was
are.
gonna say. He always has stuff on his desk. Yeah.
So many toys. So,
Yes.
you know.
Speaking of the girls, at what point did your husband accept your girls wearing matching outfits?
Oh, yeah, because he wanted them to. I mean, I feel like he's still trying to sow dissent. And he's like, don't you
He's
want
like,
to
I'm
wear
gonna change that
something
one
else?
sock.
Yeah. But we are not. I still get to say what they wear a lot of the time,
Yeah.
which is great. And it's a fleeting privilege, though. It's going to be gone soon.
Are they already starting to be like, I don't want to match, or no?
So the problem is right now, one will want to match and the other won't want to match.
Contrarian, yeah.
And I just always go, well, there are two kids with two bodies. I don't know. What are you going to do?
Fight.
Because like, what am I going to do? So you have to match with your sister. You can't match with your sister. And so one will put, the one who doesn't want to match will put on an outfit and the other one will change and put on that same outfit. And then she'll change and then
Oh my God.
and thus why I'm late. You know? But they have to duke that out. They're twins who are going to live together for the next 13 additional years at least. They got to work that shit out.
That's true.
This is just practice for someday when one of them's like, I want to move to New York City. And she's like, well, I want to live in the same city as you. And they have to, like, they're going to encounter this over and over again. They got to figure it out.
This is true. But they look so cute when they're matching.
They do look so cute when they match.
What is your favorite part of being a mother?
Oh,
Your favorite part?
my favorite part of being a mother. I mean, when you hold that kiddo's tiny little hand in your hand in the morning and they're like stroking your face and Poppy's like, well, we can't get up yet because we haven't had enough snuggles. Like just having their bodies like on my body and holding them. Oh, it's just the best. I think that's when I feel like just so happy. But my favorite part is probably like getting to know who they are and seeing them like show up for each other. And it's very surreal to create a human who then you get to know and be friends with.
That's
really
weird.
Nice. It's weird. It's strange.
Weird. You're like, I grew you.
I agree.
You were in my belly.
Yeah.
You lived here.
Yeah.
You lived
here. Now you're outside.
Evicted.
Yeah, I think once they can reciprocate loving you back, or they know, or they make a conscious choice to do it, like when they first start giving you hugs or kisses, you're like,
wow,
I am the chosen.
Yeah.
I am the greatest person that's ever existed.
And now they spend their mornings, they hold these little hearts with their initials on them and they go, I'm filling it up with love for you so that anytime you miss me, you can just have it. You know, they're just so sweet.
So deep.
Every night when I tuck June into bed, she's like a different like thing that grows, a flower, a fruit or whatever. And she's like, Mama, I'm a growing strawberry and you can still eat me and I'll grow right back so that you never run out of me. And I'm like, oh, it's like the opposite of the giving tree.
That's so cute.
So cute. I was like, I won't eat you. She's like, but you can, because then I'll be with you forever. And sometimes they will say, I'm going to stay with you even when I'm grown up. And I'm always like, of course you can. They won't,
so
but of
cute.
course they can.
Yeah, I mean,
They won't.
you don't want them to anyway. You know?
Yeah, no.
You want them to have their own lives.
I do.
Be successful. Yeah. Becky's
But
like,
maybe
no.
next door.
I have a house in the back for a reason.
I got a house and back from a baby.
They can have their own lives, just maybe next door.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Live
yeah.
next door.
You don't want to be like one of those bad kids and move states.
Listen, they can move states.
All
I'll
of us
move.
in this room.
I'll move too. I'm able to move.
I'll move too.
I can move. I can move. I can do it.
I don't know. They're
not?
just so little and they're so into their relationship with you. And you just realize it's setting their ideas for relationships with everyone. And it's just so sweet. And I realize that's also fleeting. You know, they're going to be more into their friends than they are into us
Yeah.
in the next like 5 to 7 years. And so I don't know. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Enjoying
Treasure.
it before they can say, I hate you, mommy.
Luckily, we've never had that yet. Although 5 is a perfectly appropriate age for that.
Yeah.
We have had go away. Yeah, get ready.
That's okay. Honey does this to me all the time. He goes, no, dad, dad. And he shakes his finger at you. No, dad.
Uh,
Where did you learn that from, Becky?
Actually, it was from a dog. Speaking of dogs, little yappy dogs.
McGruffin?
No, it was from
What was his name? McGruffin?
What was the dog you kept saying?
Marmaduke?
No, Marmaduke.
McGruffin, the
Is Mc-
AMC
Yes,
bar,
yes.
McGuffins.
Yes.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, he told him to say no to a little dog because he is just around cats and cats don't really jump on you. But when there's a little dog, I'm like, oh, just tell him no, Bezo, because that was the dog that he was talking
Aw.
to. But then he like kept that with him. And now if he says no to you,
Yeah.
he's going no,
No,
with a finger.
Oh,
My mom calls it he was giving me the what for.
the what for?
I'm like,
What for,
You're
Kim?
You're like,
What
where did that
for?
come from?
For?
giving me the what? He was giving me the what for?
Okay, what for?
What are you doing that for?
What for?
What for?
What for?
Beautiful.
No.
No,
Well,
no.
a lot of the people on Patreon see you as an inspiration, Rachel, and they want advice
Okay.
because it's hard being a mom and working and being
It
a good partner to your partner. So how do you balance it all?
I mean,
What
I
advice do
do
you have
not.
for people?
Okay. You can't balance it all. You're always failing at something.
Mm-hmm.
Being a working parent is like splitting yourself in half. And like, I was late this morning because my kids were sick. And as I went to leave, they were so upset and so devastated. I know it was about the birthday party, but the feelings were very real. And I felt very shitty walking out of there. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm a cool working parent who has like a cool life. No, I felt like torn apart inside and just like, oh, this is awful. Because they're sick and they just want me to stay home. And why shouldn't they get that? Or I'm, running home to get to bedtime and I'm not fully caught up on work, or I'm like trying to pay attention to like what they're doing at school while I'm on set. Like it's hard. And I feel like I don't do anything 100% anymore because I do everything at like 50%, but I feel bad about all of it. I used to feel like I could fully concentrate on my work, and I've never been able to fully concentrate on my kids, much less my relationship and my marriage and my friendships and everything. Like, I think it's a very tough phase of life. And I would say anyone who you hold up as like an inspiration of doing it all, that's much like social media, that's not really a full picture. The full picture is much more like scattered and unbalanced and hard, and a lot of feelings of, I don't feel guilty for working or anything, but just a lot of feelings of like, sadness about like missing things or, you know, I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard.
It is
so
hard.
I would say I have no advice for how to do it, except that like I have a lot of resources. That's the school calling to tell me they're not at school today.
But like, yeah, they're at a birthday party that they planned. They're working.
They're working. I'll send a note about the party.
Yeah.
I have a lot of resources. You know, we have a nanny, but we both work, and I see why not all relationships have two people that work, or they have grandparents really close or something, because it's miserably hard. And we struggle with it all of the time, every day. It's rough, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no advice. Just know that it is a lot, and it is also a phase so of life. It won't go on forever. They won't be this dependent forever. Or maybe my career won't go on forever. Who can say?
Who can say?
Who can say? But yeah, it's a hard time.
Maybe we'll all move to Sweden
that would be really
It is
cool.
beautiful there.
and live
It
in
is
a
beautiful
little community.
Yeah. And like swim in the river in the summer.
Yeah. Wash our hair with the tears of God.
Is that Marmaduke?
Marmaduke, you're much too big a dog for that. No, I just imagine that's what living off the grid is like. Is being I've collected the rainwater. Now I will use it to wash my hair and my produce that I've grown.
Sounds cold. It sounds cold.
Honestly, we'll make it through.
We'll figure it out.
So yeah, being a working parent, hard.
Hard for
Very
everyone.
hard. For everyone.
Hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Matt's Smut Corner?
So, Matt's Smut Corner, where Becky forces me to read smut. She's always reading these dirty novels.
Sometimes I read these dirty, dirty novels, and I thought it'd be funny if Matt read some of them too, because he's so straight-laced, and he only reads Italian literature. He only reads
Italian.
He only reads
Italian.
things that, you know, he reads for knowledge. I read for fun.
Pleasure.
I wish I had
Matthew.
headphones for this, Matt.
Matthew. And one time we made him guess where the smut was from. We gave him some fake smut.
You wrote it?
I didn't write. Who wrote it? Caitlin?
Wait,
Did we find it from Wattpad?
I don't think we ever.
Oh, we did
it was
Wattpad for sure.
Wattpad
Okay.
versus a
Rainie's
smut
like,
book.
I wasn't here that day.
I was like, what?
That would be funny. Guess what the real smut is.
And I'm writing the other one.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhat
See what I can come
embarrassing
up
all
with.
around.
Wait a minute.
But this one is also from Wattpad.
So
Not
this
published. And you'll notice why.
This is not published?
Unpublished.
Unpublished?
Oh, I'm
Or
worried.
yet to be published. Who knows? There's always hope.
A debut
The
novel.
log line is Catlick Eversweet. Hopes her name will be drawn for the 69th annual Humping Games. The world will be watching the sexiness unfold.
Okay. All right.
I volunteers tribute.
Okay.
This is already funny.
Catlick? Really?
Catlick's a really,
off in a weird
it's
way,
a really
but now I
great
get
name.
it.
Props.
Props to you.
PETA, I said. He looked at me. Listen very carefully. I'm giving you one more chance. You better rock my world. Do you hear me? You got it, he blurted, coming at me. He kissed me so hard I felt dizzy. That's more like it, I moaned. He lowered me to the ground. I looked up at the sky while he took off my clothes and kissed my body. Take your pants off, I said. They're not even funny yet, and you guys are laughing so hard.
It's Matt.
Better come at me.
He fumbled around.
So you better rock my
pants
world.
off.
Take your pants
He
off.
fumbled around with his belts and then yanked them off. He threw them to the side and dove on top of me. Catlick, he said in between kisses, I need you so bad. I need you too. Then it happened. He stuck his magical wand into the enchanted passageways and sparks flew. I arched my back and dug my nails into his shoulders. PETA, I breathed.
One, I think we've jumped genres.
Different franchises.
Melded
Into the
together.
Forbidden Forest.
We humped like the world was gonna end. He didn't stop for nothing. We kept going faster and faster. The cannon went off. I saw a tribute in the sky. Then it went off again. Another tribute. Peter kept on humping me like a champ.
Why are you like slowly descending into a 1920s? Like,
That's what it feels like it's calling for, you know?
Like a champ.
like a champ.
The cannon kept booming. The tributes' faces flashed in a blur. I felt
they're
explosions going off in my own body. Unbelievable, Ryan Seacrest shouted.
Ryan Seacrest.
Why is he in this?
Because it's a modern day retelling. So why would we need Stanley Tucci when we could have Ryan Seacrest?
The votes are pouring in. Every vote is for PETA and Catlick.
Oh, because they're watching this?
They're the humping games. Everyone's watching the humping
Humping
games.
games.
It's
And they're
the
watching it.
69th annual humping
And
games.
so the cannons, did those people,
die.
Or did they?
or did they not hook up?
I don't know.
Or did they
I didn't read the whole thing.
Or do you get a cannon when you,
It said the cannon went off. I saw a tribute in the sky.
That's when they're dead.
yeah, but this is the humping game.
Well, she would have seen her own.
Well,
She didn't see
has she
herself
come
in the
yet?
sky. Yes, multiple explosions were going off in her body as the cannon boomed.
Ryan
really pay attention to
Seacrest said
details, Becky.
Congrats.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So would you finish this book
No,
online?
not even a little.
I mean, I want to know how it ends.
Becky wants to know.
I want to know how they're wrapping this up.
Is
I want to know how they're wrapping this up. Is there a sequel?
there a sequel?
Do they get trapped back on?
Humping Games,
the
I think it's a
Humping
trilogy.
That was the end?
That was the end.
Oh,
It's just a snippet. We can't give the whole.
right.
Can't give
That's
the whole
unfair.
cow away.
Yeah.
That was a climax. What are you guys reading right now?
Yeah. What smut are you reading today, Becky? What's on the docket?
Well, I just finished. We had talked about it
the
prior.
Dragon Slayers,
Onyx Storm.
Onyx Storms.
Onyx Storm. That was the big one.
Did it end well? Like, did you like it? Was it fun?
No, Desiree and I were pretty in agreement that we were like, this was fine.
So you already finished
The
it all.
ending. Yeah.
How long did it take you to read, though? One day.
No. Because I can only
Half a
read
day.
like before bed and when I wake up. Like 3 or 4 days, probably.
That's still really fast, I feel like.
Yeah.
Quick read.
A quick read. I need like a palate cleanser. I was telling Kaylin. I was like, I read this other smutty fairy book and I was like, this is too much. This is too
Yeah.
much. I need something.
I read a lot of like smut for like a couple years and then they all just blurred together in my head. And I was like, it's kind of the same story every time. So I'm off smut. for
Yeah.
now.
You can only hear the smut words.
Bing, bing, bing. Well, they're all kind of like, well, I'm a chosen one somehow, but I don't know that yet. And I have no powers, but I'm going to discover my powers. And then I'm going to sleep with this dragon / ancient one / fairy / whatever.
Alien.
It's kind of like all the same. And
It's
so,
like Jesus, but sexy.
Chosen.
You know what I mean?
Chosen for sex.
Star Wars, Harry Potter. It's all Jesus, but a little sexy.
A little bit.
A little bit sexy.
A little bit.
A little more
A
boning.
little bit.
little more boning. You know what I have been loving? So I got a walking pad so I could walk during Henny's nap.
Oh.
wow.
I know.
Walk and read.
Walk and watch. Right now I'm on my dad's show.
Oh.
You finished it.
Oh.
What is it?
Night Agent.
Night Agent.
Night Agent. Are you a dad? You're gonna love this show. It's the Netflix
Truth.
Netflix version of like an NBC procedural.
Never seen it.
It's not good and good all at the same time.
I get like
Yeah.
30 minutes of TV a day. Maybe I'm not watching Night Agent.
Mm.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Instead, she's watching The Humping Game.
The Humping Games.
Love Island.
No,
What have you been
currently,
watching then? What has been your 30-minute guilty pleasure?
We've gone through the last 2 seasons of Top Chef
Mm.
because
Oh.
This
we
sounds
don't
like market
always-
research.
yes, we don't always have Top Chefs on like Peacock, I think, so we don't always subscribe. So we
Yeah.
had a few seasons to catch up on, and the new Top Chef premieres right now, March 13th, and our friend Kat Turner is on it
That's awesome.
from
That's
Try
so
Guys
fun.
Casting.
Mm-hmm. And highly likely.
Highly
Where she
likely is where she works.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
And she's just so badass and really cool and has lived a million lives. And I don't know how she does on Top Chef because she respects an NDA, but I can't wait to see.
Wow.
So we caught up on, we did Houston, we did Wisconsin. So we're ready. We're ready for
Whoa.
cat season,
That's
which
so
is
fun.
set
That's
in Canada, I think.
cool. Ooh.
How about
So
that?
that'll be great.
Mhm.
So that's what we've been watching.
That's
I
a
love
good
it.
one. That's a good show. What have you been watching, Matt?
Oh, what haven't I been watching? Eugene makes me watch everything.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Though right now we are watching
He's so
Severance.
strict.
Severance.
Severance. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
a Severance household as well.
Yeah. We've been watching Severance. Great. Love. So good. Even though I realized I didn't even watch the first season. I watched like part of the first episode of the first season.
Were you lost?
And then Eugene watched it without me. He didn't wait for me to watch the rest of it. So then here we are. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I saw it. Because Eugene said he saw it. And then we go to start it and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. This never happened.
To be
This
fair,
one.
you don't usually remember
I remember like
most characters.
the plot. I remember the plot. Okay.
To be fair.
To be
The
fair, you don't
education
need to see it
system-
because you'll just forget it.
The education system has taught me to remember like procedure
Yeah.
and steps, not facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always remember like the plot of stuff, but I never remember like the characters' names, you know, stuff like that.
Matt and I did watch a wonderful, it was so good show on
Hoarders. Oh.
Apple. No, not Hoarders. So scary. What was it called? Prime Target? Prime Suspect?
Target.
It was with Leo Woodall, I think is
I
his last
don't
name.
know who that is.
He's from White Lotus.
Okay.
He was also in One Day. He's cute. The show's bad. The show's
Okay.
so confusing. He's like a
Yeah.
mathematician and he's like, prime numbers. They act crazy. And like the CIA is watching him. And the whole
Yeah.
time he's just like, prime numbers. But he never like really explains what the deal with prime, at least in the first 2 episodes, never explained the prime
Okay.
numbers to us. So we really didn't care if he lived or died.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
not a good show.
It was not,
Not
I could not recommend
also a
a show
dad show,
less.
but Night Agent I think
Also
is
a
a
dad
better
show.
dad show. than-
yeah.
Am I
Night
allowed
Agent
to
way better.
recommend a podcast?
Yeah.
Another podcast?
No, we hate podcasts here. How dare you recommend a podcast?
Once you're done
in front
listening
of
to
us?
this one,
yes, of course, recommend
have
a podcast.
you guys been listening to the Telepathy Tapes?
No.
No.
They're so good.
What is that?
You're thinking, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, I will tell you, Matt. The Telepathy Tapes are an in-depth look at mostly kids, but people on the autism spectrum who are nonverbal and their ability to communicate with both each other and their caregivers without
Really?
language.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And when they
Wow.
communicate with each other, sometimes these people have never met and live like across the country from each other. And the evidence, like when they start doing testing with them about like, can they communicate with their different caregivers? So that could be like a tutor, a teacher, or like their mother or father, or sometimes their siblings. And they do all these like tests to see if they can like see what they're thinking. And it's 100% of the time they get it right. 100% of the time.
How do they find these people?
What do you mean?
Like, how did they find the
So,
match, the perfect match? You said they live across the,
oh,
some
so
live across the country?
these kids, these nonverbal kids, were describing to the psychologist, but also to their caregivers, how they go and speak to their friends on the hill. And that is a place where they go in their minds to communicate with one another. And they were describing people, places, and everything. They could tell you like their address, they're savants. They could tell you everything about them. And then when the psychologist and the researchers looked up these people, they were real. And that kid could tell them everything about this other kid. And the parents didn't know they knew each other.
They know each
Like,
other in a
it's
different
very-
realm.
That's
It's-
crazy.
They know
Wow.
each other in a different realm. And so like savants are like, that's a known phenomenon that like people who have never been taught can know like 18 languages, even though they've never been taught them. People can know calculus and advanced math, even if they've never had a math course from like very young ages.
Right.
And so this is like, it's not really considered reputable by the scientific community, but this podcast is sort of trying to change that because they're essentially arguing it's a savant skill for some nonverbal autistic kids. And the reason why people haven't known about it is because the kids have not been able to communicate it because they're nonverbal. But they can. A lot of them now, with the assistance of an iPad or whatever, can spell. So they can't speak, but they can write out on an iPad and type out what they're trying to say. And they're doing all kinds of tests. They're putting like the caregiver in a different place, in a different building away, using a random number generator or a random word generator to create non-real words. And the caregiver just looks at it and then the kid can type it 100% of the time over and over and over again.
Whoa.
Yeah. They can play
It's
a
like the
game
OA.
and they can see it.
Yeah.
Like they just, they describe situation after situation. It's really cool.
Whoa.
I know.
I'll have to give that a listen.
Telepathy tapes.
The telepathy
Anyways,
tapes.
it's wild.
Hey, Rachel, let's see if you can think what I'm thinking right now.
You're thinking you wish you had ordered the raw veggie sandwich for lunch too.
That's close. I was thinking 22.
Okay, well, I'm not a savant. Thank you for pointing that out.
So sorry, Rachel. So sorry.
That's
You got a rosebud and thorn to leave the people with? What do you...
Yeah. Before we let you
working
go,
on?
I like how you just said that and then you went right into it.
before we let you go,
Well,
Wait, Becky, do you have a rosebud and thorn?
no, Rachel, do you have a rosebud? Rachel, this is all about you. You're my rose, my bud, and my thorn.
oh, so
I
sweet.
want to be your thorn.
You're her everything.
You're my everything.
Okay.
You're my
I'll
flower.
take it. I love you. Let's see, my thorn. Last night, this is sort of a rose and a thorn. Last night, I stayed up late on a school night with friends, sorting through all these clothing donations and picking out what they wanted, what they didn't, which was really fun and sort of sad. Like a lot of my friends lost absolutely everything in the fires. And so we were going through all these donations and there was some ugly shit in there, but there was some cute shit too. Yeah. And at one point, one of them found a bathing suit that she had owned before with tags still on, and we all danced. And it was so exciting.
Yeah.
We were doing that last night. So that's kind of like a rose and a thorn.
It's like a happy sad.
Yeah. And then my kids are turning 6 next month, and 6 to me, you know how you have like a scary age in your head for yourself, right? Like you're like, oh, 30, 40, whatever it is, 50. My scary age is my kids turning 6 because they don't.
The devil's number, they turn a little devil numbers. 66.
Sure.
Is that why? Why
That's
6?
what I was thinking.
Why 6?
You can read my mind.
I could tell.
6,
Just feels old.
it feels big. It just feels big.
I think it sounds big. It sounds like they're going to be like making their own decisions and like they're very cognizant.
You remember 6? And I just think anything before that sounds like, oh, you have a baby, toddler, little kid, preschooler, whatever. And 6 is like, oh, you got a kid.
You got a kid. That's your kid. You got 2
Is that
kids.
when it's called a child instead of a toddler? 6?
No.
that the
Toddler's
turnover?
just like 1 and 2, I think.
Yeah.
And then you might say preschooler for 3 and 4, I don't know, or little kid.
Yeah.
But 6 is also where like, even in all the clothing and shoes and stuff, it stops being like 5T and it's like 6. You're like in the kid section. I don't know, it just feels big in the same way like you might like arbitrarily think like 35 is old, but 34 was not.
Okay, everybody, let's pump the brakes on saying 35 is awesome. All right, everybody.
I'm also turning 40 this year, and I think I'm less plussed about that than I am about the girls being 6. I'm like, slow down. Like, of course I'm 40. I feel like I'm 80 half the time. I feel ancient. I'm so tired. But they're 6.
But I think you're supposed to not be tired anymore when they turn 6. I heard that somewhere.
It's magic.
I heard it somewhere.
I think it was by
I heard it on a podcast, aka TikTok.
I think it was on
I heard it somewhere. Someone said when
believe
you're 6, when they're 6, that's when you're you've caught up. You can catch up on all the sleep. You know how they say you have like your sleep bank?
Okay, well,
Is
my
that a
kids are
minus?
6, so I was up on the hour every hour last night.
Oh God.
They were just coughing, and they would, Mama, I need you. And I go in there, and they go, I coughing too much.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, let me cover you up again. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say that's when you're like, the TikTokers, say that that's when you've caught back up because your sleep bank has been so deprived.
Yeah.
Well, I
You're able
don't
to
know.
catch
You're
up.
filling it back up.
I think I'm just tired from life. Remember when I was like, there is no balance. You're always failing. I think that's why I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The mental
just
fatigue.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're going to be 6. I don't know. That's like a bud and a little bit of a sad thorn.
Mm,
I'm sure it'll be wonderful, but I'm just sad when I think that they're growing up.
they are. Well, you have a lot of pictures, memories. You got a lot of pictures.
Well, you know what? You got a lot of pictures.
You got a lot of
Rachel.
pictures. You're never going to forget. You got a lot of pictures.
You got a lot of pictures.
Thank you.
You'll be able to look back
You're right.
when
I'm
they
not
were
sad
5 and be like,
anymore.
remember when they were
You
5?
fixed it.
Remember when they were 5?
Yeah. You know what, Matt?
It'll take you back there. Go back in your memory palace. You'll remember.
Memory palace.
You know what? Emotion solved.
He did it. He did it.
You solved the problem. Nice job, Matthew.
You're welcome.
All
Happy to
right.
help. Happy to help.
With that, Becky, can you take us out?
Yes. Well, Rachel, where can the people follow you if they want to see all the fun stuff in your beautiful pictures?
I don't know. Is social media dead to us because it's owned by the biggest losers I've ever seen in my whole life?
They are fucking dweebs.
They're really so
It's
pathetic.
And
a bad time for
nasty.
social media.
Bad time.
Nasty.
Listen, I'm at Arcole on Instagram, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You can cut
Yeah.
that out. I'm on the gram. That's mostly where I
You're on
am.
the
I
gram.
don't really do the other one, so come say hi.
Amazing. And everybody make sure you're subscribed to Second Try, getting all of that BTS. And if you listen to us on Patreon, send us more questions. We have a
Yes.
ton of guests lined up. Rainie's always popping on there to give you guys some prompts about who's going to be on. So we love these questions. And until next time, make sure you're peeing after sex. Make sure you're washing your hands. Try and take some time for yourself.
Was that one directed into the mirror at you?
Take
At
some
you?
time
On your walking pad?
On my walk. Watch The Night Agent. All your problems will go away. No, but until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.